All right, y'all. I'm about to share something with y'all profound and brief. All right. So, earlier today, I had an encounter, a divine encounter, right? And the reason being of the encounter um, was the angel of the Lord was telling me to commit, right, to the remainder of the process, right? To commit and to carry out what God put in me to carry out, right? And just anybody with some sense and putting two together, you would know that it's a reason why, the angel of the Lord appeared to me and said that, right? So I'm not really going to elaborate on the reason, but I will tell you this, right? I'm just going to tell you this. It's not easy. Like, it's not easy being who God called me to be. And it's not easy being on God's side, in this earth. It's not easy. So we cannot hear everybody's testimony or the things that come from people and like in this sense of them explaining their struggles and their hardship, and we will be foolish to think that ours will be the same, because that's not the case. God has ordained me to be a high priestess. So to whom much is given, much is required. Right. So anyway, going back to me, that's just a little side thing. Those of you that caught it. Right. So the angel of the Lord appeared to me, right? And I wasn't awake. I was asleep. Um, and it was in a dimension. I'm not really too familiar with this, but I believe it's in a dimension from between sleep and being awake. Like, it's not dreaming. So it was a spiritual situation, but I was asleep, or in the parameter of sleeping, right? I wasn't like just fully up and then it happened, right? Although I had that before, right? So yeah, y'all gotta catch this, right? So um mm, gotta make sure that pose is together. All right, so he said, I don't remember everything. I just remember the main thing. And he was telling me to commit to the remainder of the process. And again, I've been revealing to you guys of who God called me to be. And I've never seen it done before. Number one. Number two, um, it's it's not easy. Like, if you like if you know understood the person I'm standing for, and the reason I'm standing for, or the reason, like, for him, for myself, and for what God is producing through us collectively, or through me, as a whole. It's not easy, right? Like, I'm literally, dude, Mother Mary over here. Like, that's what it is, right? And so the angel of the Lord appeared to me and said, commit to this. Basically, when he said commit, that's all I remember, but I knew what it meant for me, right? Commit to the remainder of this process. Carry it out. Don't abort. Don't give in. Don't throw in the towel. For it is bigger than thyself, and the reward will be much greater than your suffering, your present suffering. And I didn't come on here to expose what was going on with me. I'm coming on here to bless many of you that you're in this walk, and it's not easy, and you might not even understand, like, all of who you are or what God is doing. Like, you might not know, or you might know, but I come by to tell you to commit to the remainder of the process, or to the rest of your the process of your time, or the rest of the process of the purpose, right? And also the rest of your time on earth, for Our life is not our own, and we are indeed here for a purpose, and why we are here must be served. If we do not, we will squander the very reason of why we exist, I'm sorry, of why we exist. And people are waiting for the manifestation of who God called us to be and what God called us to do. For the Bible says the creation eagerly awaits for the sons and daughters of God to be revealed. What is the sons and daughters? The manifestation of which God purposed us in the first place. So the angel of the Lord appeared to me on today and said, "Commit." I don't think he asked me. He's telling me, commit. You get what I'm saying? Commit. You get what I'm saying? Commit to the rest of the process. Like, man, what you got going? Commit. Don't throw in the towel now. Don't give in to the lust of your flesh now. Because I have reasons too. But the reason to commit is much greater. Although I can't fully see, but I know, although I fully don't know, right? I have an experience on the other side and what God, has prepared for me. I just know some of it, right? And I know what it's about. For we hear and see in parts. Mm-hmm. Commit to the remainder of the process. For our reward is greater than our present suffering. Before I came on here, I was talking about it with my tribe members, and it just hit me, and I started to cry like a big old baby, and I'm like, Lord, and I realized it was bigger than what I knew. It's because I didn't deal with it yet, right? So when I was talking to them about it, it's like uh I was dealing with it, but it's bigger than that, because it's like, okay, when it happened, I my time with the Lord, I prayed to the Lord about it, and I'm like, I wasn't really sure on certain things, so I was praying, and then I heard a word on today, and then in the word, God was ministering to me my answer. He was responding from me hearing the word, right? To what I was saying to him in secret. And then, that was that. Like, and then, my day happened. And then one of my tribe members asked me a question that was pertaining to it. And then it was a whole experience to where it came back up and I started to cry, and I'm like, I realized it was bigger than what, you know, like I just, thought of it or held it in inwardly. But it's a difference when it comes out. Like you can have revelation and a knowing, but it's like when you confess it, oh my God, it's or when you like it's a difference. Mm-hmm. So yeah. So I pray that this bless your soul, and that you don't throw in the towel because of present suffering, comparing to what the suffering is for and where you're headed and what God has in store. God don't desire for us to suffer. For our suffering is for a purpose. Mm-hmm. God don't just cause us to suffer just to suffer. That is my time. I hope this bless you guys. God bless you guys.